Keeping frequencies open. Welcome back to Trek Retrek here on Geek the F Out. I am Captain Johnny.
I'm Ensign Kayla.
And we are here to talk about the season 1 finale of Star Trek, the original series.
Indeed. And what is it called?
Operation Annihilate.
Annihilation. Dun,
Yep.
dun.
So
that's it. If you've never watched us before, welcome. Our whole premise of the show is Johnny has seen everything. I have seen nothing in terms of Star Trek except for the previous Star Trek TOS episodes and Strange New Worlds and the Chris Pine movies, but and we're going episode by episode from the very beginning and discussing them from our two very different perspectives. So thanks for joining us if you haven't before. Make sure to smack that like, smack that subscribe, smack that bell icon, and let's talk about Operation Annihilate, shall we?
Yes. TVGuide.com says, a trip to Deneva reveals parasitic creatures have devastated the planet, driving the inhabitants insane. And one has infected Spock.
Ruh-roh. SpaghettiOs. Oh. Sorry. Anyways, so we start off, as every other episode, on the bridge. Take a drink every time it starts on the bridge. And they're trying to contact the planet Deneva. And Spock says there's this pattern of mass insanity destroying civilizations that goes through this line of planets. And of course, the next in the line is Deneva.
And I have to say, I really liked the colorful system map that they had above the science station. I enjoyed that. The colorful star systems. Anyway.
Did you know?
I did.
And then Sulu spots a ship heading towards Deneva's sun, and they try to stop it, but it's too far for them to beam, tractor beam. And but they're also getting a little too hot, and
little toasty.
Little toasty toast. And the other ship ends up burning up, but like right before it does, the dude on board says, "I did it! I succeeded!" And which everyone's like, what? Okay. Bones asks if Kirk's brother and his family are stationed on the planet right before we cut to the intro, and I was like, ruh-roh. Which go ahead.
Sam Kirk.
We get Sam Kirk, which I think I had asked when we were watching Strange New Worlds if he was in the original series, and I distinctly remember everyone not saying anything, like they should. You know, no one is supposed to say anything to spoil me, but I just knew by how everyone was acting, I'm like, he's fucked, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
Like, is that why he's in Strange New Worlds so much? Probably.
Seems to be, because this is his first and last appearance.
Yeah.
But
so they finally they finally contact Deneva, which ends up being Kirk's sister-in-law. Her name is hard to say. I'm sorry.
Aurelian. Yeah, it's spelled.
How it's spelled though was
Aurelan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arellen. Like Ellen with an R in front of it. She's a pirate named Ellen.
Arellen. Well, I'm just gonna say Arellen.
Something like that.
Something like that. It ends up being her, and she's saying, "Help us." But then they lose contact with her, and Kirk gets really mad at Uhura again, and is like, reestablish contact, and she's like, "Bro, I can't."
You can't. They turned their phone off, man. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
They left us on red.
Yeah, their sensors detect little human activity on the planet, and Kirk, Spock, Bones, and 3 others beam down. They walk towards the brothers' building, and then they get ambushed by dudes with tubes. is what I put.
Yeah, like
But they're
plexiglass
saying,
rods.
yeah, but they're saying like, we don't want to hurt you, but
Yeah.
then look like they're going to hurt them, which we find out why later on, because of these blobs. And they stun them, and they run to a woman screaming who ends up being his sister-in-law, and Bones knocks her out. Jim's brother and nephew are knocked out, and we find out, unfortunately, he is dead. We don't even get to meet his brother.
And Sam is just William Shatner with a different hairdo and a fake mustache.
That's what I thought. I was like, is that Shatner? Really?
It's just William Shatner with a different hairdo and a fake stash. Like that's all it is.
So funny. So funny. Oh my gosh. I can't. But yeah, the nephew's still alive though. They beam back to the ship. They say how like the tranquilizer isn't really working on his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And Orellan says they came about 8 months ago and they brought things with them from this other planet. And the beings are forcing humans to build ships for them. And then she dies. All of a sudden, just dies. So sad. Anyways, Bones says he'll do what he can to save Kirk's nephew. Kirk beams down to the planet back to the group, and Spock says they heard a weird buzzing sound, which I accidentally put in my notes, buzzing sound.
I didn't know they made sounds.
It's Bussing.
Yep.
Anyways.
And I'm not thinking about buses.
No. Anyways. And then we get these weird flying flesh-looking alien things. And they phaser them. But then one of them sticks to Spock's back.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Kirk eventually gets it off. LOL. And then I have in all caps, Chapel! Holy tits, she's back!
Yeah, what's up with her hair? Because it looks like...
It's different.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
It looks like...
a bit different.
And it's not exactly blonde. Like, it looks like she took a bath in tomato soup because she got sprayed by a skunk and hasn't washed all the red out of her hair yet.
Okay.
I don't know why that's what I just thought of.
You paid a little too much attention.
I just noticed it. It's kind of reddish.
Yeah.
Ish.
So
I don't know if it's her actual hair color or if something was weird with the lighting on the set or whatnot, but it doesn't look blonde. That's all I'm saying.
So there's this puncture wound on Spock, and Bones and Chapel are working on him, and Bones says if she can't help, get another nurse to come in to help. And Bones brings this tissue that he takes out of Spock to Kirk, and apparently it's like leaving a stinger in the body, but he only pulls a little bit of it out, and it kind of takes over the whole body though, which is terrifying.
Yeah, Bones' pull-out game is bad.
Indeed. Good one.
Thanks.
And Bones doesn't know what he can do to help. He's like, this is way too advanced for us. And then Spock escapes sickbay, comes on a bridge, fucks shit up. Finally, Bones tranks him. And then Spock is like, I'm okay now. And I was like, sure, Jan.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure. I wrote, how convincing. Like, they really got to stop leaving people in sickbay unsupervised.
Yeah, and they obviously put these better restraints on them, but through the Vulcanian power that he has, he breaks out of them.
Yeah.
He tries to beam down, but Scotty stops him.
Yeah, Scotty is... Okay, hang on. I want to talk about this. I alluded to this in fuck, I can't even remember the name of the alternative factor, like, because it was talking about why Scotty wasn't there, and I was like, because Scotty's a badass, and if he was, none of this would have ever happened. And remember, I talked a little while ago about, like, Scotty is the smartest person on the ship, like, even more so than Spock. And, like, this episode, just Scotty is the most competent badass on that ship. because he fucking stops Spock from beaming down. It's like Scotty did what everybody else should have done in the first place and pointed a fucking phaser at Spock and said, "Don't fucking move, or I'm gonna shoot you, you motherfucker."
You motherfucker. Yeah, Scotty's a G. And so Kirk and Bones come into the transporter room. Spock is like, I can maintain control over myself, over the creature. I can control the pain. And Spock is like, we need to capture this creature to figure out what's going on. And they let him beam down.
I mean, he had a point. I mean, like, Scotty didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, Scotty did what he should do. Like, don't take anybody's word for it. Like, wait until you hear what Kirk wants you to do. Like, everybody acted... Almost everybody acted exactly how they should have in that situation. Spock should have just been like, Captain, I'm going down to the planet because I feel fine.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
So Spock gets attacked by orange jumpsuit guy, but nerve pinches him.
That red tile wall that is behind him is pretty cool. I liked it.
Oh, I missed that.
It took up the whole frame.
I probably did, but I was just like,
you just didn't notice it. Yeah, it was just like a mosaic red tile wall that I just thought was cool.
Oh. Cool. Spock phasers jellyfish, brings it back to the ship.
Kayla's like, you noticed the weirdest fucking shit, dude.
I mean, we all do. And they found out apparently it's just one huge brain cell. But they think it's part of a bigger creature and need to figure out how to destroy it. And then there's this eyebrow raise off between Spock and Bones. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
They both look at each other and do the, I can't raise. I used to be able to raise one eyebrow. No.
I can't raise one eyebrow, but I can lower the other one.
There we go. I'm kind of doing it. No.
I have to lower this one.
That's technically what you should do. Oh, there you go. There you go. You got it. Bones can't figure out how to kill it. Kirk might have to kill 1 million people if they can't find a way to destroy it, which I was like, 1 million people on this planet. That's not very many, especially compared to Earth, which, yeah. I mean, in the 60s, there was obviously more than 1 million people on Earth, but I don't know how many. Way more than 1 million. Probably 2 billion? 3 billion? I don't know. Look it up. And so Kirk isn't happy, and he's like, we gotta find an alternative to destroy it. Spock wants to beam down and take his nephew too, and Kirk's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. They try to figure out what qualities the sun has that they can use to kill the creature that they haven't already. And Kirk's like, wait, you haven't tried light. And they're like, well, light doesn't kill things. And he's like, well, what if it kills this? We can use the satellites to pretty much put out a bright light onto the planet. And so Spock volunteers for tribute to test out the light, and it works, but he is blind now, which I was like, oh fuck, are they gonna like leave this on a cliffhanger and he's gonna be blind now and like we're gonna have to resolve that next season? No, not quite.
No, it's episodic TV. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. And then we find out the creature only needs, like, to destroy it, only needs light they can't see. And Bones is like, oh, fuck. So we didn't need to blind Spock. Shit. Yeah. And
whoopsie doodle.
Yeah.
Sorry about your vision.
Sorry.
Wanda.
But he feels... but he, like, Bones feels really bad about it, which is a great moment in this episode because, Bones and Spock have gone at each other a lot this season. Not in that way. Wish it was that way. But it was a nice little moment in him saying like, oh, he's the best like first officer in the fleet. And yeah, so Kirk tells the satellites to beam the light down. I don't know what I was trying to say with that. And the jellyfish things all burn up. And Kirk tells Bones it wasn't his fault about Spock. And then all of a sudden, Spock walks onto the bridge. Apparently, it was only temporary because Vulcans have inner eyelids to protect them because their sun is harsher than our sun. And that's it. There's a couple lines that I'll say for lines and moments, but all is great and good in the world, and the humanity is saved. The end.
Yay. So yeah, the red tile well was cool. Scotty's a fucking badass. There was one of the labs, I think it was McCoy's lab, had a very like a yellow door. It was the only time I've seen that yellow door instead of like the doors on the Enterprise are orange. This one was yellow.
For sickbay?
I think it was
for the lab. For the
lab. Yeah,
okay.
I think it was the lab where he was doing the tests on the. Yeah, it was when he was doing the test on the thing in the like container. Yeah, the door is yellow, which is I don't think I've ever seen another yellow door on the ship anywhere.
Interesting. Good catch. Maybe because you got to be careful when you go in there.
I don't know. Maybe.
Got to wear protective gear, even though they're not. PPP. You stole his Kong.
Uhura's uniform. She was wearing like the black belt that has the Velcro on it to stick like the phasers and the communicators to. Like this whole episode, she wore it in City on the Edge of Forever because she beamed down to the planet with them. But she was just on the bridge, just wearing that black belt. I kind of like it. It kind of breaks up the uniform a little bit. I think it makes it look a little more dynamic than just all red. Notice that. But apparently, it's a one-off. There's a trivia bit about it.
Okay, good to know.
So those are the rest of my notes. That's it.
Cool.
Sam is just
it was a
fake stash.
Yeah, it was a good episode. High stakes for both. Well, for pretty much mostly Kirk, both his family and Spock, which kind of family too, essentially at this point. Yeah, it was a interesting plot. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I guess can get more into it in ranking, but yeah, overall, I liked it more than last episode, though.
Really? That's interesting.
I did.
I don't know.
And not just for the sucking noises.
I don't know that I would say I liked it more than last episode, but I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Lines and moments.
Yes. I don't have anything written down. I liked the.
You didn't write down sucking noise.
I did not write down sucking noise. They did make some weird fucking noises. They just sound like people.
But that's literally what it said in the subtitties. It said sucking
noises. Okay.
Which ironically, Dog is doing something similar. Yeah, I think my only lines that aren't "that's what they said" are at the end. Excuse me. Yeah. So Spock says, "Quite the contrary, Captain. I had a very strong reaction. My first sight was the face of Dr. McCoy bending over me."
Yeah.
And then
that is true. I forgot about that one.
Bones goes, "'Tis a pity brief blindness did not increase your appreciation for beauty, Mr. Spock." Or McCoy.
Oh, and then McCoy says, don't tell him I called him the best first officer in the fleet. And Spock spins around and says, thank you, Dr. McCoy. And Kirk's like, you've been so concerned about his Vulcan eyes, Doctor, you forgot about his Vulcan ears.
Indeed, he did forget.
And then I guess Scott says, freeze right there, Mr. Spock, or I'll put you to sleep for sure. I guess my favorite moment of this episode, I'm really low in my frame today. I guess my favorite moment of this episode is just Scotty being a badass in every scene he's in. Yeah, Scotty's awesome. Scotty's the best.
Once again, he's a G. Ignore the sounds in the background.
I guess that will bring us to, if you don't have anything else.
I mean, yeah, the scenes with the weird jellyfish blob things were very entertaining. I'm trying to think of any other
fluttery.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other scenes in particular that stood out to me. I mean, I liked the lab scenes, which have we seen the lab before?
No. We'll talk about that in episode trivia.
Yeah, that was cool. Shall we do?
That's what they said for Operation Annihilate. I believe
it's your turn, sir.
Keep trying.
They came.
Let's just put up the grapefruit lady video.
You're gonna have to explain that one after.
All right, you haven't seen this? Okay.
I probably have, but please observe.
Guided by the whole, drawing its strength from the whole.
We can do it.
My pleasure, Captain. Yay!
Yay! I had to do the sucking noise too, because sucking noise.
No, that's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
So it's an entirely different thing. That'll bring us to the episode trivia from Memory Alpha. Yeah, this is the first time McCoy's lab is seen. Inside the lab, the prop used previously as Baylock's lamp in the Corbomite maneuver can be seen sitting on a shelf. Different components of sickbay were added over the first season, such as the decompression chamber seen in Space Seed. McCoy's lab contains one of the life support canisters used on the Botany Bay. Interesting.
Very interesting.
This is the only episode title of the original series that includes an exclamation point, and along with Voyager, Bride of Chaotica, is one of the only 2 episodes in the entire Star Trek franchise to incorporate that particular punctuation mark. It is also, Memory Alpha says it's also the only original series episode of the original series to incorporate a dash in the title. It doesn't have a fucking dash in the title.
Once again, Memory Alpha, get fucked.
It does on IMDb. It has Operation -- Annihilate. But on TVGuide.com, on Paramount Plus, it's a colon.
Yeah,
maybe they changed it. It's possible. Oh, yeah, because the title sequence, it's not a colon. It is 2 dashes.
2 dashes?
Yeah. It's -- Let me see what the
Operation
remastered Annihilate. Yeah.
Annihilate.
So I'm going to go with the title card. So that it is technically right. They probably changed it later. I'm guessing the title card was the original title. And when it was remastered, maybe they changed the written title to a colon. But on the title card at the beginning of the episode, it is 2 dashes.
Okay. Interesting.
Indeed.
Take your word for it. Indeed.
The clubs used by the Denevans during their attack on the landing party appear to be thick lucite rods. Curiously, the gray grooved clubs used by Spock during his fight with Kirk in This Side of Paradise and some of the miners on Janus 6 in The Devil in the Dark were not recycled for this use. Maybe they weren't available anymore. What are you talking about, memory? Also, it says that the fact that they appear to be thick lucite rods says citation needed. I mean, it's look at them. It's thick fucking conjecture. C's. What do they look like? They're clear rods. So maybe they're lucite, maybe they're not. I wrote plexiglass. I don't know what was available in 1967. Who gives a fuck? They're clear rods.
Yeah. People are hung up on the weirdest things.
Unique to this cups. Yeah. No cups in
Cup
this
Watch
episode.
2023. No. Sounds
Cup Watch 2023 is going to be Cup Watch 2024 here soon. Unique to this episode, Uhura wears a black belt on the bridge, having worn one while on the landing party in the previous episode produced, City on the Edge of Forever. Like I said,
black belt. She is a black belt.
She is.
Badass bitch.
Although the ubiquitous jumpsuit type outfits worn by the 4 Denevans who attacked the landing party crop up in a variety of colors, this is one of the few in which a green one appears. There is also a red variety. Apparently, the only one ever seen in the original series was in this episode.
Just in general?
Yeah.
So clearly they were used for other things. The jumpsuits.
Throughout the series? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's the green one in this episode apparently is one of only a few appearances, and then the red one, this is the only episode with a red one. Allegedly.
Fascinating.
Well done.
Is that the end? The end?
That will bring us to spoilers without context. Ensign Kayla's, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go.
So I have Chapel because, any chance to show Chapel from Strange New Worlds, gotta do it. And I have the blobfish, which is apparently an actual fish. It doesn't always look like this in the picture, though, apparently, when I was looking at pictures of it.
Like this is, if I'm remembering right, this is only what it looks like when you take it out of water.
Yeah, something like that. Because it is out of water there. And then I looked up like solar eclipse glasses because you gotta filter out the light. So they had to filter out the light. And then a bee stinger because it was like a stinger that was left in them from the weird jellyfish things. Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Blobfish is always very
I know.
So sad.
It is. Yeah. It's a sad fish. Sad fish.
So we will bring my spoilers without context up on the screen. And I just used the guy with the fake mustache for Sam Kirk because it was just...
He kind of looks like Matt Damon for a quick second. A hot sec. Just glance.
And then I used the structure of amoeba diagram because that's essentially what these things were, giant overgrown amoebas.
Amoeba.
And then I used the cordyceps from The Last of Us because the way Bones talked about like the stuff like wrapping around the spinal cord and the nervous system, it sounded like cordyceps growing inside the body.
Interesting. Okay, good
and
one.
And then the picture of the cat with its extra eyelid because of the Vulcans and their inner eyelids. So
they're very cat-like.
There you go.
Nice. Good job. Good memes.
Thank you. That'll bring us to ranking the episode. Ensign Kayla, how do you rank Operation Annihilate?
This is probably gonna be controversial.
Whoa.
But I'm gonna rank it captain.
Okay.
Because like I said before, I liked it a little more than last episode. I think just because, the stakes were higher and it was Kirk's brother and his family, and then Spock was blinded. it was also just something we haven't seen before, and I felt like I couldn't predict what was going to happen. Yeah, it was good, and it's the season finale, and I think you should watch it. I don't really have much else to say besides that, but Captain.
So I have a question. So regarding,
Here we go.
I'm just wondering. I'm not refuting your ranking. I'm just curious. With Sam Kirk, do you think that would have landed with you as much if we hadn't watched Strange New Worlds and you hadn't met him? Because up until this point, I don't think they'd really even mentioned. They might have mentioned him once, because it says Peter Kirk's memory alpha. It sounds like he was mentioned in What Are Little Girls Made Of, because it says Peter had 2 siblings, but they had both passed by the time of the neural parasite invasion of Deneva. So they might have mentioned Sam Kirk in a previous episode, but like it would have been a lie. We obviously had never seen him before. Do you think watching
I don't think
Strange
it would have
New...
changed.
No?
I mean, it's stakes in terms of like that's his brother. Like no matter what, that's his brother, even if we met him before or not in Strange New Worlds. In my mind, that's how I interpret it. Like it's still your brother. Like it doesn't change if we've met him. It's still Kirk's brother, and that's a huge stake for him. And now I really want steak.
I had a brisket mac and cheese sandwich for lunch earlier. It was pretty good.
Okay, well, fuck you.
So, it was good. I'm not gonna give it Captain. I'm not that high on the episode. I'll give it Commander. I'm ranking it Commander. So we're basically flip flopping our City on the Edge of Forever rankings. Listen, you're allowed to like and dislike different things. It's okay. That's good advice for fucking everybody in the world to take to heart. Liking things and disliking things is okay. Not everybody needs to like the same stuff that you like and dislike the same things that you dislike. Let people be themselves.
Yes, but you also phrase that for fucking everyone in the world. And I'm stuck on that now. For fucking everyone in the world.
Well, I mean that too. Whatever.
But yes, preach.
Just let people be themselves. They're not hurting you by being themselves. You know?
Exactly. It's not that hard to be a decent human, as we like to say around here.
You know, if your neighbor is a furry, what harm are they doing to you by having a fursuit in their house? None.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Or a dungeon, or whatever.
Or just they don't.
As long as they're not killing anyone or doing anything, with minors, then we're good.
Yeah, right. Murder, pedophilia, universally bad. The dude does not abide those things.
No, the dude does not abide.
Anyways. All right. So that's it. Next episode, the first episode of season 2 is one that Kayla actually said a while ago she was waiting for this episode.
Yes, because everyone won't shut the fuck up about it.
Season 2, episode 1 is Amok Time. In the throes of his Pon Farr mating period, Spock must return to Vulcan to meet his intended future wife, betrothed from childhood.
Are we gonna meet T'Pring?
Yep. This is T'Pring's episode.
So they get back together. Interesting.
We'll see. We shall find out.
Okay. Well, maybe not next week, but it'll be the week after that. Because next week, why do you look confused?
Oh, right.
Next week we're gonna do a season 1 recap with some special guests, which we're recording this like almost a month ahead of time, so not sure who we're gonna have on yet, but
check the socials.
Look forward to that,
because we will have announced who's going to be on the socials. And Ensign Kayla, where can they find the socials?
You can find us at GTFO channel on all the socials. If you want to email us, our email is channelgtfo@gmail.com. It is the reverse of our social handle. And make sure to smack that like, smack that subscribe, smack that bell icon. Thank you for joining us either on the premiere or the replay. Feel free to leave a comment. We appreciate y'all being here. I can't believe we're done with season 1. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like it hasn't really hit me yet. I'm sure it will when we talk about the season as a whole. LOL. More whole jokes. Yeah, it's been a fun ride so far, and I feel like I have very much become immersed in this world now, and it's been a fun journey. But yeah, we'll talk about that more on the recap. And yeah, anything else, Johnny, before we sign off?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right. Until next time, peace and long life.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.